All right. How's it going, peeps? I know it's Tuesday, so you're probably wondering, man, where's the roundtable? Well, we had some communications, and we figured since last night was Monday Night Football and the Lions were playing, that it'd be best not to do above the rim Monday night and do it today. So that is why we are here today. Also, it is a very special occasion. It is 313 JMO's birthday. Happy birthday, JMO.
Thank you, man. Thank you. I found a little bit of time to do this, man, for my a little hour for y'all. Have some fun, man. I'm having a good day too, so it's all good over here.
Well, hopefully we can get a bunch of people who hit that like button for your birthday. That would be a good present from me to you, so I would appreciate that. And then we also have the newest member of the DSA, the Big Take. How's it going, Big Take?
What up? What up, Drew? What up, chat? And happy birthday, J-Mo. I didn't know it was your birthday today, bro.
So as you guys are coming in and out, be sure you hit that like button, share it on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, MySpace if you have whatever, so you can get the word out because Detroit basketball is back and the game is on right now. It is on the NBA TV if you wanted to watch it. If you do not, you'd have to Google a link to live stream it. Unless Big Take, were you able to find a live stream of the game yet?
Not yet. I'm looking.
Yeah. So if you find something, I'm sure we will tell you guys about it. But for right now, it is on NBA Network. We will give you guys some live updates as the show continues. Uh, without further ado, guys, let's talk about some things right now. This is our fourth preseason game, so we have a decent look at what this team is trying to do right now. So far, to me, Christian Woods has been the guy. Like he has taken everyone by storm. I think that he needs to play over Thon Maker. Originally, that was not my statement. But Big Take, let's go ahead and start with you, man. Who is one player from the preseason that has overachieved in your opinion?
Definitely Christian Wood, man. He's a monster, and watching him play in live action when I actually got a chance to go to a Pistons preseason game against the Cavs, it really gave me an appreciation for just how hard he plays. I mean, even in a preseason game, this guy is just going all out for every rebound, and he's all over the court, man.
I I love him, man. He is winning my heart over faster than anyone, maybe besides Blake Griffin. Now, JMO and I were talking. I'm curious to see your answer, JMO. Who has been the player that has overachieved so far this preseason in your eyes? That is an awesome answer, JMO. Mm-hmm.
My fault. I'm back. Um, what was the question?
Seriously, uh, who has been the one player so far this preseason that has uh, overachieved your expectations of them?
Overachieved my expectations. Uh, I mean, I won't say overachieved my expectations, but I feel like that Derrick Rose is playing so just so good. I can't explain how he's been playing. It feels like we finally have a point guard that we haven't had.
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
if you guys can't hear JMO, it's a new mic. He's a little bit quiet, but he said Derrick Rose, and that's a good one too because there's been a lot of people out there who think Derrick Rose is done for, that he's never going to be the same player, which he may not be. But right now, I tell you what, I was at um, the preseason game against the Mavericks and watching this guy live, guys, he is super fast. And I think
mhm.
having a combination of Derrick Rose, Luke Kennard, and Christian Wood off the bench is a pretty good three-man punch. Um, I'm curious to see what's going to happen with this. Preseason time you experiment with lineups, look to see what works, what doesn't work. But big take, man. What's one thing that you have not liked from the Pistons this preseason?
I mean, one thing I haven't liked is the fact that Luke Kennard's not starting. I'm not. I just really I don't understand why he's not in the starting lineup. I mean, this guy can straight up get buckets from anywhere, and I realize we got to have some balance coming off the bench. But D Rose is our scorer off the bench, so putting Luke Kennard with Derrick Rose is just I think going to hinder Luke Kennard's effectiveness a little bit.
The thing that I haven't liked so far about the preseason hasn't been anything about the players per se. It's that they're playing a little bit too hard for my liking. These guys are out here diving for loose balls. Blake Griffin hasn't played in the last two. He is out tonight. JMO, you back?
Yeah, man, my fault, bro. It's my birthday. I'm getting phone calls, man.
No, don't worry about it, bro. You got to take care of that business. The chat is wishing you a happy birthday. If you have not seen it, they're just showing you a bunch of love right now. So thank you guys for wishing JMO a birthday. I know he appreciates it. But JMO, man, what is one thing that you have disliked about the Pistons this preseason so far?
Our point guard play outside of Derrick Rose. I can say that effortlessly. I mean, Bruce Brown is. I don't know where he went. Reggie. It seems like Reggie Jackson is getting worse. Like I feel like he's going through a Shea Patterson thing. He's just getting worse and worse and worse. And I'm not picking on Reggie. It's just I'm watching him. I don't know what else to say. Tim Frazier looking trash like I thought he would. Kyrie Thomas not getting enough opportunity. Steve McKaylu isn't really playing point. Langston Galloway. Do I need to say anything else after that? So,
Nope.
No.
I don't like our point guard.
I think another thing you kind of hit it at, but didn't go full throttle on it like a normal JMO take would be. We're not really playing the younger guys that much. Bruce Brown and Luke Kennard are really like the only guys out there that we could see. I got to dap up JMO when I went to the game, bro. And when I was dapping him up, there was 2 minutes left of the game. They just put Sekou into the game for the very first time. Like, seriously? Like, this is the time Sekou's supposed to play. It's absolutely insane. Like, he needs to play because this is his time to learn.
They don't want to give him an opportunity. I just don't like. And when he was out there in his first little game, he had some ups and downs, but he looked fine to me. He looked like he needed to get his footing out there. I don't like that.
No, I don't like that they're not playing Bone. You know, there's something like Wood comes out here and plays well, and then they take him out. And I understand that it's preseason and you want to give everyone opportunities, but you're giving the wrong people opportunities. We know who the starting five is going to be. Stop playing the starters so much. Like, I know you want them to get in good shape and be in good condition and all that stuff, but I want to see some of these younger guys get the opportunities because not all of them are going to make the team. Some of them, unfortunately, are either going to get cut, traded, or go to the G League. You know?
Right.
Like, play somebody else, give them their opportunities, so that way your decision on making the roster is easier. That's another good one right there that he mentioned, Dante Hall. Big take, man.
Where is he?
Outside of Sekou, man, who's someone that you think needs to get some more playing time in the preseason?
James Willis just hit it right on the head, right on the nail, as well as you, Drew. Jordan Bone and Dante Hall. Where are these guys at? I mean, why is Langston Galloway getting preseason minutes? We all know and have seen plenty of Langston Galloway. He's trash. I don't want to see him anymore. Put these young guys out there and give them a chance so we can at least see what we got. I mean, seriously, why did we trade the 30th pick for 2 draft picks that we aren't even playing in the preseason? Why? Why did we do it? For what? Just to throw them in the G League? I don't understand.
Okay, Big Take, get fired up. I see you.
Jordan Bone is one of those guys that has came out of college, and I can tell from day one he's ready. Like, you can just tell the kind of player he is. He can play in the NBA right now. So to see him not get any minutes, it's just, it just pisses me off, to be honest with you, because like we got good, solid players that won't get time.
The thing also, if you want to take it a step further, we seen Bruce Brown play point guard in the summer league, and they haven't incorporated any of that into what they're doing right now. I mean, I was expecting to see Luke play point guard. I was expecting to see Bruce play point guard. I was expecting to see Luke play point guard. And so far, it's pretty much just been Derrick Rose and Reggie Jackson for the most part, with Tim Frazier sprinkled in there just a little tiny bit. It's crazy, man. I don't know what Dwayne Casey is doing for these younger guys, because it's my estimation that he was supposed to be the young guy guru who helps make all these guys better. But how are they supposed to get better right now when you're not giving them their opportunities? This is the perfect time to play Sekou, because you don't really know what you have with him yet. Like, we haven't seen him against NBA competition yet. This is the prime example to put him on there and see if he can sink or swim. And from what I have seen of him so far, he would have been A-OK, man. A-OK. We
Yeah,
got
that's my thing with
27 people in the
Sekou.
chat. Let's get those likes up, though, man.
That's my thing with Sekou is I'm gonna just judge him based off of what I've seen. Based on what I've seen, he looks like he can get to the rim and score on the inside, and he looks like he can make look good in transition. Like, I need to see more so I can really judge him. And he's on the bench for what? A bunch of bums. That's not the first overall pick. No offense to those bums. No, I'm not calling y'all bums. I'm a bum compared to y'all, but I'm just saying. Come on, man. Like, you got to do better. And I just Dwayne Casey, man, he does this a lot. I feel like he's still making mistakes with Luke Kennard, but
has anyone officially earned a roster spot on the official 13-man roster that originally you guys didn't have making it? Either a Joe Johnson or what BU. JMO, do you have anyone out there that has officially, in your estimation or your opinion, made the roster that you did not think was going to?
Well, I won't say that I didn't think it was going to, but that, I wasn't in favor of making the roster. ISO Joe that you just brought up. I thought in that last game where he had his little ISO moment, I was like, all right, Joe, what you gonna do? Got his little bucket. He hasn't really done much, but he doesn't have to do much. He just has to show I can still do the things that y'all want me to do. I feel like ISO Joe in this little time out there is enough to make the team, to be honest with you. I think he's going to be on the roster.
Well, we're going to talk more about him in a second. Big take, man. Is there anybody on this roster that you think is going to make the team that originally you didn't think was going to?
Christian Wood. I thought Thon Maker was going to be the one to kind of secure that backup center spot, but the more and more I watch Christian Wood, I honestly don't care if Thon Maker doesn't see the court. I mean, I just want to see more and more Christian Wood. He just brings so much more energy, and he's really just an impact player, man. Like, you don't get players like that every so often, and he may not put up all these crazy stats and stuff, but he's going to bring a nonstop dog mentality and just crazy energy out there every night, and I love to see that.
Yeah, Kyle Webb. I talked about it before we went live. It would be the 1 week that the round table and above the rim switched days, and there would have been a massive trade in the NFL. And boom, sure enough, here it is. Jalen Ramsey is now a LA Ram. But this is basketball talk, man. We're going to get back into it. A lot of people in the chat are saying Wood, and I think that Wood's just earned a lot of people's respect for how hard he's playing on both ends of the floor. So it's fun to see. Now, let's get back to Joe Johnson. Go ahead.
The thing with Wood, though, is I'm not surprised because I watched him play like in 5 games. I watched him play in a few games. I'm like, this dude can score. So everything that the Pistons fans know when I was hyping up Wood, like, no, like this dude needs to be starting over Thon Maker. He needs to be the backup. A lot of people are seeing it now. So that's why I'm not as excited as some people because I knew how good he was at scoring and just being that type of energy bunny. So I like what I've seen from him, and I think he definitely should make the team over Thon Maker if it came down to them two. Definitely.
Well, I think a lot of it, what they're doing right now is for this game, they started Thon Maker at center, put him on Embiid. Drummond and Blake were out, and then they brought Wood off the bench. But in previous games, for an extended amount of time, they had Wood at the power forward and Thon at the 5, or it might have been vice versa. It'd probably make more sense if it was the other way around, if Thon was at the power forward and Wood was at the center. And you know what? They were out there blocking shots and rim protecting and locked down the paint. So that's something that you might want to consider is putting and keeping both of them on the same team and putting them out there at the same time. Big take, man. What do you think about that? Do you think that having Thon and Wood could work together?
Well, it's crazy you say that, Drew, because I was thinking about that as I was watching that preseason game I went to. I was like, you know what? Why not just keep 3 centers and have them all rotate in and out and just have a constant energy and constant fresh bodies coming off that bench? I actually really like that idea if we're able to do that.
What about you, JMO, man? Because you knew a lot about Wood before most of us even heard of his name. Do you think that Thon
Mm-hmm.
Maker and Christian Wood could coexist and play along one beside another, or do you think that it's just winner take all? They can't play together. That whoever wins this position is just going to be out there.
If Thon can shoot, yeah. But if he's not making those threes, it's not gonna work. We obviously know why. I like Don Maker, but he has to be able to shoot it. I'm not even saying 35. Shoot 34, 33. Like, just be able to make a shot right there. You know what I'm saying? If he can do that, then I like them both, defensively causing havoc and getting rebounds. I think that it will be very beneficial. And if somebody gets hurt, we have bodies, and Blake get more rest. It's all about Blake getting rest, ain't it? So, it could work out.
Speaking of Blake getting rest, he's been out the last 2 games. Personally, I think this is one of the reasons we brought in a guy like Joe Johnson, because Joe Johnson is one of those guys who's not probably going to start a single game this season. However, he can be a person to take some of the pressure off of Blake Griffin. And when Blake Griffin is out, either due to injury or load management, he can go out there and get you 20 points on one night. Not saying he's going to do it every night he's out there, but he's still got that 20 point per game in him. Like, he's not going to do it. I shouldn't say per game, but he's got that 20 point game still in him. J-Mo, man, do you think that the Pistons did a good job bringing in Joe Johnson? And if you agree with it or not, do you think he's a guy that can help take some of the pressure off of Blake Griffin and fill that void when Blake Griffin's out?
I don't know. I wouldn't say they did a good job. But I like Michael Beasley when it comes to like scoring. But I think Joe Johnson has value on the team with that the ISO scoring, just getting points, getting buckets, and it's nice to like have him on the clutch moment. If Blake misses the shot, Drake get the rebound, you can just throw it to ISO Joe. He shoots a little mid range, game over. So that type of thing can help us. Like I said, I thought he was a trade off for Beasley. I didn't want Beasley for other purposes because I thought it was a better locker room fit, and I think it can work out. It just depends on how many minutes he gets and when we decide to put him on the court and things like that. But I think taking pressure off of Blake are gonna have to come from some of the young guys like Luke and some of the shooters like Tony Snell and Derrick Rose. I think Derrick Rose is gonna be the one that takes the pressure off of Blake when it comes to those clutch moments.
And I think that Derrick Rose is going to be one of the X factors and determine how far this team can really go. Big Take, man, I'm going to pass that long, lengthy question to you, man. Did you like the move of bringing in ISO Joe? And if you do or not, do you think he's a guy who could take some of the pressure off of Blake Griffin when he plays or help fill some of the void when Blake Griffin's out?
I did like the addition of ISO Joe just because we have a lot of young guards and we also have a young small forward, power forward, and Sekou Doumbia. So I thought Joe was more of a guy to bring in and kind of show these younger players the ropes of the NBA and how to have that mentality night in and night out. But as far as ISO Joe taking the pressure off Blake Griffin, I don't know if he's going to do it a whole lot. Now, like you said, Drew, I do think he's bound for a few games here and there where he might just go off. But I think a lot of ISO Joe is just going to be pacing himself through the season because he is older. He's 38 years old now. He doesn't want to bang up that body. I think he's just going to be really trying to make it through the season and stay on this roster come playoff time. And once we get in the playoffs, I think that's when ISO Joe's really going to make a difference.
Now, for some of the newcomers in the chat, we need you to hit that like button. It's J-Mo's birthday, so don't hit the like button for me. Hit it for J-Mo and wish him a happy birthday. He's out here living his best life, partying. He's probably got some Henny.
I'm out here putting on my best sober act right now. Just to let
Yeah,
y'all know.
he's got a fifth of Henny. He's out here having a good time. He's in a limo with some females, so he's out here having a good time, bro. So happy birthday to J-Mo. But without further ado, man, let's hop into the next topic and see where it takes us, because this team is full of questions, a lot of promise, a lot of potential, and just a lot of what ifs. J-Mo, I didn't get to ask you this last week because we got tangled up and I went live during the game. I asked Big Take about it last week. I'm going to pass this one to you before we go into the next one. Where do you rank the Pistons bench in the league? Do you think this is a top 15 or bottom 15 tier bench?
I would say that we are top 15. Because you got Derrick Rose off the bench. Luke Kennard should be starting. Luke Kennard should be starting. Luke Kennard should be starting. But you would have Luke Kennard
Amen
off
to
the
that.
bench. Like you would have Luke Kennard off the bench. You got Marquise Morris off the bench. That's pretty good. We got some players. You got Speed, who I still definitely seriously believe in, and then you would have Thon and Christian Wood. So I think we would definitely be in the top half of the league if we come into the East. Like out of the 10 teams in the East vying for a playoff spot, I would say we have like the fifth best bench. I think our bench is pretty good when it stacks up with the East. I think we're top 5 in the East.
Hey, I just want to say, Jamo, man, you officially made it. You got Ray J out here wishing you a happy birthday.
Hey.
He was in a movie with Kim
Thank you,
Kardashian,
man.
so that's
Thank you,
pretty
man.
good, man. That's pretty good.
Yeah,
Having fun over
he's a
here.
movie.
I just had to come in here and talk to you guys about basketball real quick.
So, big take for the guys who weren't here last week to see it, man. What is your take on this bench unit, man? Is it a top 15? Is it a bottom tier 15? Where do you put this bench at?
It's definitely a top 15 bench. Anytime you got Derrick Rose on coming off your bench, I'd say you got a top 15 bench. Not to mention, we have a guy that should be starting, like JMO said, Luke Kennard coming off the bench. Marquise Morris, a guy who's going to be starting when Blake Griffin goes on those load management nights. And then obviously you got Christian Wood, a guy that everyone's been seeing shine bright like a star in the preseason action. So I think our bench is really deep, and I think we just have so many bodies to throw out there. It's such a big difference from last season. It really is.
So I know everyone wants Derrick Rose and Luke Kennard to start, but reality is it's not going to happen. Now, believe me, before I say this, man, I want it to, because watching Derrick Rose and Luke Kennard play together, they have that chemistry. So here is, I guess, not really why they shouldn't start, but it helps this team become more diverse. You're not going to be top heavy in your starting lineup because your starting lineup is going to consist of Blake Griffin. And defenses are having a hard time, at least they did last year when he was healthy, of slowing him down and stopping him. He had his best career year. He was 30. He's not going to get a whole lot better. But hopefully Drummond can improve and Reggie Jackson. They both need to ball out. Okay, if they don't ball out, they are only hurting themselves because they are both up for contract. So they need to play well. And if they do, that's a good 3-man punch right there. Not saying it's the best of the league because obviously it needs a lot of work. However, you put guys in like Bruce Brown and Tony Snell who are out there to play defense. Tony Snell can go out there and shoot threes. He's not a lights out 3-point shooter. Bruce Brown is out here to play make and develop and be defensive. So now you bring Derrick Rose, Luke Kennard, and Wood off the bench, and you go from the slower paced team that isn't lighting it up to having Derrick Rose come out there, push the tempo, kicking it to Luke in the corner for threes. You're going to see Luke Kennard play with a lot more confidence. Him and Derrick Rose just have that natural connection. And then Wood, if he plays anything like he has in this preseason, man, it's going to be a crazy good bench. Those three guys should play very well together. And, that could be a starting 3 for other teams. So when you have the capability of having starters coming off your bench, that's a great problem to have. And I understand wanting to start them. But that just makes your bench so much tougher to guard. And all the good teams, whether it's East or West, who make deep playoff runs, have a deep bench, and those guys can come off the bench and score. Let's see, man. Let's get those likes up, man. I know it's not the greatest time in the world to come in. We got the game on. It's a Tuesday out of the regular schedule. So if you guys could share the video, that would be awesome. Share it for JMO's birthday. But do you guys think that the Pistons have found their bench rotation yet, or are they still messing with that? Big take?
I think they're still messing with it a little bit, but all in all, the only thing I think that might change is I think we might see a little more of Thon Maker in the regular season. which I personally don't want that to happen. But I just knowing Dwayne Casey, I got a bad feeling that he's gonna put Don Maker out there. I really do.
Yeah.
I don't know. We don't see a lot of time.
I mean,
I think Marquise Morris is gonna shoot better. I don't know why, but I just have a feeling he's gonna shoot the three ball better this year. I think he's gonna get a lot of playing time.
so
Like him and like D Rose and Luke will probably get the most playing time.
so then do you think the Pistons are still messing with the rotation then, JMO?
Of course, they don't know what they're doing. they got starters on the bench.
that might be an understatement.
This is my thing with Reggie Jackson. I think Derrick Rose being so good is going to force him to force it, and it's not going to turn out well. Because that's what it looked like he was doing in preseason. He's like, well, I got D Rose behind me, so I got to do something. And then he does something stupid. So I'm just hoping that he tries to focus on what he's doing. Our coaching staff won't make a change for now, but I don't think they have a clue.
So then let me hear your solution, JMO. What should be the 5-guy rotation coming in off the bench?
Coming off the bench, well, first of all, Luke and Bruce at least should be starting. Like, at least. Luke needs to be starting somehow. I don't know how. He has to be. But Marquise, B, Luke, Derrick Rose, Christian Wood. That's what I'm working with. And then, that's what I'm working with. I like that.
You know what, man? Like I said, they got a lot of toys, man. They probably won't figure this all out until pretty close to the All-Star break. Big take, man. What would be your 5 guys coming in off for this bench?
My 5 guys would probably, D Rose and Luke at my 1 and 2, and then at that 3, that's what's tough for me off the bench. But I'll say ISO Joe, and then Marquise Morris and Christian Wood.
All right, fellas. Real quick here. Derrick Rose is playing not good. Oh, go ahead, JMO.
No, I wanted to say something about. At the end of the day, it's about the system. You got to put the bench player. I don't think we have a system. That's the problem. The system usually comes from a point guard or a coach. But that's what I think the problem is. And when it comes to that bench lineup, who is going to fit into the system and fill in the roles that need to fill at the certain points of time in the game? And that's what I think they're trying to figure out. And I hope that they start to develop that.
What?
You got something to say, Big Take, or you all right?
No, I was just saying, why is Derrick Rose playing? That's what I was going to say.
I mean, I'm not really big on them playing Derrick Rose this much anyway. Like, they are, like, abusing him this preseason.
Yeah.
Like, they need to turn it. And he's playing too hard, man. Like I said, that's one of the things that is scaring me, man. Blake Griffin's out here diving for loose balls and hasn't played the last 2 games. If you guys don't watch Everything King, I suggest that you do, because he thinks that he might be hurt, man. JMO, man, I know you watch a lot of these games. I know you're there at a lot of them. Everyone's watching Blake Griffin, man. Do you think Blake Griffin's at 100%, or do you think he's still got that knee bugging him?
I don't think he's hurt. Like, I'm not one of the speculation type people with players, especially not in the preseason. If you want me to believe he's hurt, I have to see him not playing the regular season. Honestly, I feel like Blake was out there not playing preseason. What am I about to play for? Like, that's why I think he was just out there, not really giving that much effort. If there's anybody in preseason that don't need to be worrying about playing, it's Blake Griffin. So if I'm gonna speculate, I need to see him not play in the regular season or not play well before I go that far. I'm not going there yet.
That's a good answer. I like it, man. How about you, Big Take, man? Do you think Blake Griffin's at 100%?
I think that knee is always bugging him, if I'm going to be honest, but I don't think he's hurt. I don't see him being hurt. I think he's just, like J-Mo said, I think he's just not playing because why would he play? I mean, it's the preseason. He's been through how many preseasons? I mean, why not just sit out, get healthy, and be ready for the season? We all know what Blake Griffin can do. He doesn't need to prove anything.
That's all right. So now this is probably, depending on what side of your fence you're on, a lot of people's most favorite segment. It's rumor time, fellas. Now, earlier this week, there was two rumors. One coming from ESPN, and I don't remember where the other one came from. The first one we're going to talk about is probably the most commonly known one or most commonly player. If the Toronto Raptors get off to a shaky start, they are going to be looking to move Kyle Lowry, and the Detroit Pistons are one of their targets to trade him. Now, I'm not sure what they're looking to get for Kyle Lowry. Not even sure if they are going to trade Kyle Lowry. Personally, I don't want him here. 30 plus, he's really not going to make that big of a difference for us. I mean, at the end of the day, it really depends on what they're going to throw at us and what they want before I'm going to say no or yeah on it. But big take, man. What do you have to say about this, man?
I don't see Kyle Lowry doing anything to bring this team to that next level. And my thing is, why are we going to give away pieces, assets for a player that's really going to come here and not make that big of an impact? I mean, let's say the Pistons did, in fact, end up trading for Kyle Lowry. How much better of a team does that really make us? Does it make us a top 3 team in the East? No. Does it make us a championship contender? No. So why pull any triggers or move any of these young assets, especially when you're not playing half of them and we don't even know what they can become yet?
Right. I like it, man. JMO, birthday boy, man. What do you have to say to these rumors of the Toronto Raptors getting off to a shaky start, looking to trade one of their main franchise players in Kyle Lowry? Mm-hmm. He must be getting some birthday wishes. So that's why we're waiting for Jim. Oh, you there?
Oh, here he comes.
Just in time.
Did you? No, I don't know why y'all hating on Kyle Lowry, bro. Did y'all not see him say Kawhi Leonard legacy? Man, that boy was out there balling. That boy had one bad game against Magic and start balling. I'm sorry. I think Kyle Lowry is way better than Reggie Jackson. Kyle Lowry knows how to run the team. Kyle Lowry's been a pick and roll. And the main point is Kyle Lowry can shoot the 3 ball. Yeah, he's old, maybe a little bit overpaid, but he's not. He doesn't get hurt a lot. Not really that bad of a player, honestly. Leading the league in the for a long time last year. Kyle Lowry is a good player. I'd rather have him over Reggie Jackson any day. But Frank Ntilikina, no. Frank Ntilikina to me is he's brown, but he can pass a little bit.
My thing with Lowry, JMO, is just that, yeah, Kyle Lowry may have saved Kawhi Leonard's legacy, but Kyle Lowry had to be brought to that situation. Kyle Lowry can't get you to that situation.
I mean, but we're not getting him to be a star. What is Reggie Jackson? Like, he's better than Reggie Jackson. And my point is,
well, yeah, if we can move Reggie for him, then I'm all for it. If we can move Reggie for him, I'm all for it. But I don't think they're going to want Reggie.
Kyle Lowry's a good point guard. It's just he was never a star, and we know he's not a star. And that's people's issue was he's not a star when he was losing to LeBron. Him and DeMar DeRozan are stars, but they're nice players. Kyle Lowry's a nice player. In the playoffs, we might be able to depend on him, who knows, but I'd rather have Kyle Lowry and Derrick Rose than Reggie Jackson and Derrick Rose.
Mm-hmm.
Kyle Lowry would definitely get Drummond involved, too.
I mean, it's a slippery slope, man. Like, I have to see what they want to get because I'm not going to overpay for him being 30. And I mean, you guys are undervaluing the expiring contract of Reggie Jackson. Like, that's huge for us. And I know it's tough to watch him play right now because he's not playing the way we need him to play or playing the way we want him to play. That expiring contract is a huge deal. This is the first time in almost 10 years that the Pistons are going to have a lot of money and not waste it on mediocre talent, overpaying for people. This is going to be the first time the Pistons are going to have money and not blow it all in Josh Smith, Ben Gordon, and Charlie Villanueva. So I'm not really rushing into this trade market right now, man. Now, Kyle Lowry is a good player, but he is 30, and he did just sign a 1-year extension for 30-some million. I believe goes into the next year. Now, For the next guy, Frank Nicotella, however you pronounce his last name, may God have mercy on his soul.
Ntilikina. Oh my
I'm
goodness.
Ntilikina.
I'm just gonna call him Frank because I can say Frank.
Frankie.
Now this one is reported that the Pistons have interest in him. Not saying that the Knicks are looking to trade him or move on from him, just that the Pistons have some interest in him. Personally, I don't know too much about Frank. I know he is super young. I know that him and Sekou are friends. I went to Big Take first on the Kyle Lowry one, so Jim, I'm coming to you, man, since you know how to pronounce his last name. What do you say about the Frank one, man? Do you want Frank? Is he a good player? What should we know about Frank, and should we do it? If we can do it.
I mean, like I said, he's Bruce Brown, but he can pass a little bit. And I'm simple as that. Play defense, can pass the ball, can't shoot, can't really score. Um, that's all. Like that's why I don't want him. Because to me, I would rather trust Bruce Brown potential than bringing a guy like that. And I just don't see that much potential with him because I don't see a natural shooter or scorer. Like with other kind of players who struggle in that area early on, at least you'll see a spark. You know, like when Jason Tatum is shooting 420, you know that Jason Tatum can score potentially. With Ntilikina, you can't shoot or score. And, you know, his passing and his defense isn't enough for me. I just think he's another Bruce Brown. I wouldn't want him.
Well, I mean, if he's another Bruce Brown and he plays point guard, you could put him and Bruce Brown out there and lock
Bruce
some
Brown
people up.
plays point guard.
What's that?
I said Bruce Brown plays point guard.
Or whatever. You could put one at the one, the other at the two, and lock some people down.
They can't shoot.
They're not out there to shoot. That's why we got Luke Kennard, Blake Griffin, and so on and so forth. Not everyone that comes in the league can shoot threes.
Yeah, but you got to be able to. One of y'all got to be able to shoot. Like both of y'all, there's no great backcourt in the NBA where both of the players can't shoot.
Victor G says he can't find the game. Victor, that is because it is on NBA TV. And if you do not have NBA TV, good luck finding a stream. Big Take, any update on that? Have you found a stream yet?
No, I've been searching everywhere. I can't find it.
So
kind of angering me, to be honest.
if someone's got a stream link, go ahead and put that in the chat so other people can check that out. But Big Take, man, what do you have to say about the Frank rumor? Do you think they should do it? Yay, nay? If so, if not, tell us why.
Frank Ntilikina. I'm kind of with J-Mo on this one. I mean, he's basically another Bruce Brown if you really think about it. And if we can move the right players for him, then I say, yeah, pull the trigger because it's another young point guard that can come off the bench. And why not? I think we're going to be moving on from Reggie here soon anyways. But he just can't shoot the ball, and we need shooters on this team. I'm sick of seeing a Detroit Pistons team that flat out can't shoot the three-point ball. And we have two big guys, Andre Drummond and Blake Griffin, that make their living in the paint, and then we don't surround them with shooters. I don't understand. I don't really like this Frank Ntilikina rumor. I don't think we should pull the trigger unless we can make the right move, which I don't even know what that would be at this point.
James Willis got a good question. If you guys got some questions you want us to answer, go ahead and put them in the chat now. I'll be looking for some of these. But James Willis says, so where is Kyrie Thomas? Now, J-Mo, as Nomus J enters the building, how's it going, Gnome? J-Mo,
What a gnome.
J-Mo called this one.
Happy birthday, J-Mo.
J-Mo called Kyrie Thomas kind of being the guy who comes out here. It just kind of doesn't fit. J-Mo called that one day one of Above the Rim. So, J-Mo, I'm going to pass this one to you right off the rip, man. Where is Kyrie Thomas at?
Lost in the sauce. You know, when guys like Langston Galloway are getting time and Tim Frazier, and then you have Sekou barely getting minutes in preseason, it's just hard to find minutes. Like I've always said about Kyrie Thomas, I like his game. I think he has potential, and he's one of the guys that I can see going to a different team and becoming a star just because it's a lot of oversaturated guards right now, and he doesn't really have the opportunity. And I I love our coaching staff, but they stupid. Like that's all I can say. I just basketball is so simple. You gotta have certain skills, and when Kyrie has more skills than other players, and he's not getting playing time, it just doesn't make any logical sense. I mean, his dribbling is okay. He can shoot, he can score with either hand, he can play defense. What more you want him to do? But it is what it is. I hope that he finds somewhere where he can be successful.
You know what, man? I hate to see it, but you're right. Let's pass it to the guy who just joined the panel. No, Miss J, man. Where is Kyrie Thomas at?
I think Kyrie Thomas is literally buried under the radar. And the thing is, I always felt like when they got him, I always felt like that was an insurance policy because the Pistons knew at some point that I feel like they knew they weren't going to have that depth of a roster, especially when it came to the shooting scenario. So I believe when they traded for him, they were trying to get him to quickly learn the position because they didn't know how well Reggie Jackson was going to be healthy. And not to mention when you seen Ish Smith, but then that got debunked because a certain taco eating guy got more minutes than anybody in the league on our roster. So I just feel like he's just missed out an opportunity because of who's here. And I feel like when you look at like Luke Kennard, and then you look at what they want out of Bruce Brown, then not to mention the guys they already have, he's competing in a situation where it's I hate to say it's almost going to make him, like I used to say, the new Dinwiddie, because he's going to be he could potentially be the odd man out, and then go to a team that actually may need his help and then flourish, and that's really going to sting us. So I feel like what Dwayne Casey should do is actually make the veterans' job more fightable, and that means don't guarantee it to them just because you paying them $1 million or so to do it. If the rookies are equally as good, or the second-year players are equally as good, give them the opportunity. Be fair, live up to your name as a young player development, and I think that's what they need to do with Kyrie Thomas and Bruce Brown, so on and so on.
Man, that's a good answer, Noam. You've been MIA on the above the rim for a minute, but you come in with the fire answer. I like it, Noam.
I've been MIA in general.
It's good to have you back, man. Big take, man. Where is Kyrie Thomas at?
I don't know. He's missing in action, sadly. I don't know where that boy is. No, but anyways, I don't understand why he's not getting minutes, especially when we're giving minutes to guys like Langston Galloway. And yeah, we're paying Langston Galloway more money than Kyrie Thomas. But I don't really honestly care. Why are we not giving players opportunities? I'm sick of seeing this. Sekou isn't getting minutes. Jordan Bone isn't getting preseason minutes. Kyrie Thomas isn't getting preseason minutes. Like, what is going on? Are we just trying to hide these players and throw them in the G League and just, oh, yeah, we'll trade them a few years later and they're going to go on another team and be a starting caliber point guard, like, for instance, Noma's brought up, Spencer Dinwiddie. So I can't fathom why he's not getting minutes. I really can't. It just blows my mind. Dwayne Casey is really starting to piss me off, if I'm going to be honest. Like, I'm starting to get sick of some of these rotational calls that he's making.
Well, let me say this.
Yeah, man.
Let me say this too, though.
I'm the only one who haven't given Dwayne Casey a pass for all of the egregious stuff he's been doing. Like, not starting, like, benching Luke for Bruce Brown. He's still doing it. And to a superstar, I'm going to be on his head. That's the one on the team. Or you bitch Reggie Jackson for Bruce Brown. I'm perfectly fine with that.
Exactly.
You know something? The thing is, I'm not meaning to cut anybody off. The thing is, I hate to be the villain here, but it's like I hate that he didn't start Luke, because y'all remember the playoff game. I said specifically, forget Wayne Ellington, start Luke Kennard now, because I feel like our rookies always do better in the playoffs than the veterans. I've been feeling that way since Stanley Johnson. And I said, we need to just go ahead and start Luke Kennard. And I was right to say that because he was our second lead scorer. But my thing is, I kind of at the same time understand why they forced Bruce Brown. See, Bruce Brown was put in the position to be made the villain, but it's not his fault, as we know. You know what I'm saying? Because why? He had something that he could put more effort into. Now it's his defense. Everybody else around who was supposed to be able to shoot. Reggie Jackson is not a playmate point guard. He's more of a scoring guard. Blake Griffin, we know is a shoot, definitely can shoot. And then when you look at the the small forward position, Reggie Bullock with his very tight but tight shot that he has that was always lazy. He technically supposed to be a shooter, so he was just the odd man there to help balance the roster. Him and Dre not being the shooters, and unfortunately, he took a lot of backlash for it. But at the same time, in certain ways, he was more aggressive than guys we paid millions of dollars for, like what's his name, GR3. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, and two, remember, Luke Kennard was hurt. That's another thing. He started off hurt. I think that's what kind of helped Bruce get on the roster more, because he started off hurt and other people weren't playing that good. If Luke Kennard had been healthy, I feel like he might have actually would have started. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what kind of ticked Luke Kennard off, and where he got inconsistent, because the Pistons, really Detroit teams in general, get really scary and coy about how to be aggressive with their players and influence them properly. So it's really, everybody kind of gets thrown under the bus when you're young. And I hate that about the organization, because what it is, I believe Ed Stefanski, like I said before, is building a farming system for these guys. But at some point, they're trying to put a big stake out there to make these guys fight it, who want it the most, who can push on the roster. And I think that's what they're trying to do. I think they've been doing what they said, build for the future and try to win now. And that's what this roster says. And I think that's what it says for these young guys.
Yeah.
So, what would be your solution, man? Do you think that the Pistons need to bundle up some of these young guys if we're not going to use them and trade them, and get some value for them in return? Because if we don't use these guys, eventually they're going to walk.
When you get when you got expiring contracts, you make other people too who own 1-year deals fight for their job. This is not a year we expect to make the finals again. We expect to be a better team. Once you get some more roster battles and competition going with these young guys who was drafted like his first year, it's going to push other people who were starting looking to be paid. For example, like Luke Kennard, and I think they're going to be the depth now, and I think that's why they go out and get like a D Rose or something. D Rose is there to be that key veteran they can at least hang on to once Reggie Jackson is gone. But they may want to start a young guy who they feel. So that's why I'm actually in the middle about that trade y'all was talking about. The Pistons looking at Frank, what's his name? I'm in the middle about it, because like I said before, I wish some of these deals could come and pass when we probably could have got to them before we even traded with Blake, because we could have used a lot of help back then. But now they're coming all of us at once, just making our roster look messy. And I just really don't like the addition of Langston Galloway and Joe Johnson. They got to freaking go. I don't know why they're here.
I mean, no, I like you, man. You come on the show, you're
No,
fired
I'm going
up.
hard.
I mean, it's hard not to like. I mean, you guys should like the video, share it everywhere. Again, we are here live Tuesday because of the Lions playing on Monday night, so we just switched date and time with the roundtable. We will be back next Monday, 8:00, normal schedule. So we'll have a better turnout for that. But it's been fun, man. It's been fun so far. Noam, I'm gonna get your opinion since you started talking about it. Do you think, if it comes down to it, because the Raptors, I don't know if it was leaked through their camp, Kyle Lowry camp, or whatever, but ESPN said if the Raptors got off to a shaky start, that they'll be looking to move Kyle Lowry, and that the Pistons are one of the targets. Do you think that if that happens, that the Pistons should capitalize on this and bring in Lowry? Yay, nay, and explain.
I'm going to explain. I'm in the middle because you want to know why. Even though I think, well, first off, that depends on how both he and Reggie Jackson are actually playing, because that's basically going to be it. You're not going to keep him, Reggie Jackson, D Rose, and such and such. No, you're not going to do that. So if they're both playing about, let's say they're playing even Steven, but Kyle Lowry, just the difference between he has a better playmate and he can also play defense, and they just want to move that money off, then that means you need to be trading up guys who can multiply that contract. Key factors, him, Langston Galloway, whoever else we brung on this roster and are paying money to that may not fit too well anymore. We're going to have to give up a little bit on the assets, but at the same time, they're going to have to give up assets too. So we're going to probably lose a little bit on the money scenario, because the contract y'all say he got extended for that goes into next year. But the Pistons could potentially get rid of some of those contracts and players they don't want. And it can almost be kind of a swap he'll be probably the one person to transition from it. But we'll be giving up multiple guys, which could in the near future promote a lot of those young guys again to join the roster. And that one way of looking at it. But at the same time, like I said, it really comes down to it, how well both point guards are playing. If you go based off past season, yeah, you want Lowry. But I mean, if Reggie comes back and he's balling, and it's like, why get rid of him just for the sake of getting rid of him? No, I'm not going to trade for it because I don't want that money on me, and I don't want to tear up the connection of the rosters. So that's why I say I'm in the middle of it. Yeah, I can see a good scenario out of it, but I can also see a scenario where it just won't make sense to do it.
I mean, I think you hit on everything that's been said throughout the show. I think the fan base is mixed on it. And again, doesn't mean that it's going to happen, man. It just said if. Not saying the Raptors are going to be bad. The Raptors should be a playoff team.
Yeah.
Yeah, for one thing, with the Raptors, I've been paying attention, man, and Siakam is just real good. Like, he's going to be balling. Like, leading that team to a playoff spot, looking like a player that can carry a franchise. Siakam, as long as that man is healthy, sky's the limit with that guy. So, I don't think they're going to have to worry about that. Lowry, it's his contract. His contract is way too big. Otherwise, I would take him because he's way better than Reggie Jackson. I don't care how well Reggie is playing. Lowry's a better passer. Lowry plays defense. That's the way I feel about that. But when it comes, it's just his contract is too big, way too big. The way we don't want to get cap held.
And that's something that has hurt the Pistons is big contracts for guys who are just average or slightly above average. That $30+ million, it doesn't look good on paper. But I mean, I see Jim's point. Like, Lowry probably fits better with Detroit than Reggie Jackson does. So I mean, it'd be interesting to see how it plays out. But I don't know. One thing watching the preseason though, man, is watching Derrick Rose, and I watched him live. Noam, what has been your first thought of Derrick Rose this preseason?
Well, I gotta say, some people say he almost looked like his old self. But what I will say this is that they do not need to get carried away. You don't want to take any risks with him. And you know what I'm saying? It's good to see him being athletic as he is. A lot of stuff he's doing right now, I don't think they're going to force him to do too much because they don't want him to be, complete. He's going to be playing more of that 6-man role. They're not going to force him in a situation where he has to play as dangerously. I think the reason why he's doing what he's doing now in the preseason to show the fruits of his labor. Or so he's going to implement what he can do off the bench, definitely. But it's going to come off a little bit better when you got a better crew of guys around you. You know what I'm saying? And you're not forced to penetrate all day. He's more reliable with the jump shot. I think they'll manage it better with him. And I can't wait to see it. Even if he was to take a dip and only average like 15 to 16 off the bench versus last year, does not mean that he had to technically had a down season because it's about the whole team as a whole. If we end up improving and actually start winning playoff games, you know what I'm saying, we're going to be looking like geniuses. Nobody's going to be talking about the signing or how bad it appeared to be because it's injury history. That goes double for Blake. I mean, that's all I can say about that.
All right, Mr. Big Take, man. What is your first initial reactions on watching Derrick Rose in the Pistons red, white, and blue?
My first initial reactions were, it just seems to me like he has that burst of speed back in him. Like, the last couple of seasons I watched him, especially in New York and things like that, you could just tell something was missing with Derrick Rose. I don't know if it was his confidence, and he was also missing kind of a burst, and I just think he has that back now. I mean, watching him live in action was just crazy to see how much speed that guy truly has. I mean, he gets up down the court like nothing. You snap your fingers, you blink an eye, and Derrick Rose is at the rim. As far as the Pistons in the way we need to utilize him this season, we just need to make sure we do not overuse him. And sadly, it seems like we're already doing that. I mean, we're playing him countless useless minutes in the preseason. And I get you want to get a look at how D Rose is going to fit into this team and how he's going to look in this rotation. But we do not want to overplay him and have him hurt going into the season because then it's going to get right back to that same D Rose narrative. And everyone's going to lose confidence in him all because we decided to overplay him.
I know we only have one more game left of the preseason, and that's tomorrow night. I want to say it's against the Hornets, but don't take my word on that one.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys
It is.
think? Do you guys think we just need to put the rest of the starters on the bench that game? I was originally going to have this question just for Blake Griffin, but I have a strong feeling that he's not going to play at all. But do you guys think we should play any starters tomorrow night against the Hornets? Big take. We'll start with you since you went last in the last question.
Yeah, everyone needs to take a seat and just enjoy and watch our young players play that game. I don't want to see anyone getting hurt, especially on the last preseason game of the season. That would just be a typical Detroit sports thing to happen, man. And I don't want to see it at all. So I think D Rose, Blake Griffin, Andre Drummond, Reggie, all those guys need to sit down in that fifth preseason game and just enjoy a game on the bench watching these young guys.
No, I'm going to pass the question to you, man. Do you think tomorrow night in the final preseason game for the Detroit Pistons that we need to see any of the starters out there at all?
No, we don't. Unless they're in their second year, then no, we don't need to see them out there because at the end of the day, this is for these guys to really get all the reps they can and all the workouts they can, forming their shots to better fit the starting unit anyway. So, and to push for a spot on the roster. So, why would you crowd your veteran and your starters in there? You should do that. That would be kind of stupid. Almost as stupid as the Nets playing, Jared Allen in the summer league for any reason. So I feel like they shouldn't do that. When you got Christian Woods and then you got Dante Hall and all these other guys, you want to see them play and see if they can battle their positions out. So that's why I want to scout. That's no chance to scout.
All right. Hey, Evan, man, Pistons Post, man. It was an honor to meet you at LCA during the preseason game. It was really cool to meet some of you guys. If you're free next week, man, I'd love to have you on the show if you're down for it, bro. So let me know on Twitter if you'd want to come on the show next Monday. If not, it's cool. But hey, the more the merrier as we get closer and closer to Pistons coming back and playing regular season. I believe next week the first game is Wednesday. So tomorrow, final preseason game. Then they have a full week off to get ready for the regular season. Determine who's going to make the roster, who's going to get cut, who's going to get traded, who's going to sit down to the G League. So it's going to be a fun time. It gives us time to get prepped for that game. I will be going live during that game. Hopefully I'll be home and can do it. I'm going to try to go live during all 82, but it's going to be a very hard task for me to do so. But I think that's a good place to end it for this one. It's a weird time, I know, for the guys who are joining in late. We just switched times with the roundtable. This is supposed to be their time, but they went live yesterday for the Monday night game. So I appreciate them switching it up for us. But without further ado, Nomus J, what are your final thoughts in the evening?
My final thoughts in the evening, I cannot wait for basketball to return. You know what I'm saying? I want people to understand that you can't listen to the media about what rankings that they're going to put our team at. You can't control the ability of a player based off their history. Everybody can change and dictate their own future. Just because somebody doesn't appear to be good based off last year does not mean they won't get better for this season or the next year. So that's why you don't pay attention to the media. You have to look and understand what the players are doing. Watch the tape on Rico Hines if you got to. Again, I know I haven't been around either, and I'm still not nowhere near 100% yet, but I'm getting better. You know what I'm saying? So I had surgery, so hopefully I can return to making video content like I was doing. I was kind of going neck to neck with Drew on bringing out content every day, so I missed out nearly on 14 or more videos that I should have been doing, and that kind of sucks. But I just had to come on the show tonight, man, support the fellas, let them know I'm still here with the show. This is fun for us to do this, man. Come support. And, blessings to everybody on this podcast with us, and happy birthday again to JMO, and bless everybody in the chat. Thank y'all for joining us.
Big take, man. What are your big final thoughts on the big evening?
For one, go Pistons, man. I'm so hyped up for this NBA season. Got to thank each and every one of y'all for coming out and joining us tonight on DSA's Above the Rim. Make sure you guys stay tuned and come join us next Monday right here on Detroit Drew's channel at 8 p.m. Also, gotta wish my boy J-Mo a happy birthday, man. And a gnome, prayers up for you, man. I hope you get better and get back to uploading daily, man. Thanks for coming out on the show. You brought some heat tonight.
Thank you.
But yeah, if you guys want to check out my new video, man, and watch me break things and get mad about the refs against the Lions, go ahead and check that out. But that being said, it's your boy, The Big Take, and yeah, peace.
I think we all broke something with that game. All right, birthday boy, J-Mo, man, what are your final thoughts on today's evening?
Like I said, I played.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
As I was saying, I think the Pistons are, trying to improve. Hopefully that Luke Kennard and Derrick Rose get more starters. And I'm not gonna overreact. It's be a good season. I'm very excited for it. I have higher expectations. So we'll see if we can. I do got some videos dropping about this. Oh, y'all gonna want to see those.
If you could not hear him, J-Mo said he's got some videos dropping. You are going to want to see them. So what you're going to want to do for all the DSA members whose links are in the description is not only subscribe to them, but hit that little bell icon next to the name so you'll never miss a video. We always got you covered, whether it's basketball or football. There's always something fresh in the DSA for you. So every subscriber brings something different. So it's fun. It's fun to check them all out. Also, links to social media in the description. Be sure to follow me there. But it's a good show, man. We'll be back Monday, regular time. Be sure to spread the word because the bird is the word, and without the bird, there is no basketball. It didn't make any sense. But it sounded
Bird.
good. Yeah. I'm tired, bro. I stayed up way too late to watch that game to end with an L.
Man,
For nothing.
Yeah, I mean, I know even Packers fans were mad at it. It was a whole thing. But we'll get back to basketball here shortly. Daily content coming from me, as you all know. I will see you guys tomorrow with a video. But without further ado, I thank you guys for coming out tonight. Be sure, if you haven't already, hit that like button. And without further ado, see you guys later. Peace.
Peace.
peace out.
We out the chat, I think.
Did Drew get kick out?
Yeah, I think he just ended the whole show. I
No,
don't
I'm
know,
saying,
though.
Yeah, that
oh,
was
no.